Well, hello there, chat. Hello out there in internet land. Welcome back. Welcome back to the best place on the internet here in the Dev Cycle Twitch channel, LinkedIn, X or YouTube, wherever you are catching this from. It's definitely one of my favorite places to be because I get to hang out with all of you and talk feature flags, talk OpenFeature, just have a little bit of fun with code. My name's Andrew. If you are just stopping by for the first time, I'm a developer advocate here at DevCycle, which is the place that y'all have landed, is the internet home of DevCycle. Who is DevCycle, you ask? We will get to that. Fear not, we will get to that. But what you have walked into today is one of my favorite streams that I do. Does It Toggle, which is a live coding stream where you get to watch me fumble my way through some new technologies that I explore live on stream. And I try and implement DevCycle or DevCycle, DevCycle implementate, like different ways of kind of different flavors of DevCycle, I feel like is the best way to put it. So if you're asking yourself, what is DevCycle and how have I landed here? DevCycle is a feature flag management platform. If you don't know what a feature flag is, you'll get a chance to kind of see it live in production today. But it is, we're a feature flag management platform, and we are a feature flag management platform that integrates incredibly well with the OpenFeature feature flag standard. We'll look at that in just a minute. I'll pull it up on the screen. But while I do that, if you're here and watching live, I'd love for you to throw something in chat just to say who you are and where you're from, while I get some things loaded up over on one of my screens over here. I might be moving us all around. I might move y'all over here. Where am I going to move you? I'm going to move you here. And then I'm going to do things in my center window, I think. And I gotta mute some stuff too. Let's put ourselves in focus mode till this evening. If you're here, I would love to know if you can hear me, if everything is working the way that it should. I'm just going to pull it up on my, all right. Yeah, it sounds like I'm hearable over on Twitter. So I'm just going to close that down. Let's screen share. Sorry, I said I was going to do that and then I did not. So let's screen share. Let's do my entire screen. Which one? Which one am I going to do? I think it's this one. We'll find out. Actually, let's pull open a screen here so I'll be able to tell what this is. Let's pull open the DevCycle screen. I'll drag that over here. Some cool stuff to show. It was the wrong screen that I was trying to show you. Here we go. Now we're there. We've got it up there. We're here. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Not fully big. Oh, and I need to turn off OBS too. I got OBS running because I was taking some photos earlier. Let's end that. And let's move me maybe down here. Maybe down here? Both? What do we think? I think I'm going to go there. I like this. Yeah, so this is DevCycle. Again, if you have not come across us, we're DevCycle. We're a feature flag management platform. This is actually our new homepage, just launched like 2 days ago. Our team's been super hard at work building this out. Really amazing. I'm super happy. I also love this little animation that we have here just over the stop and our little kind of tagline there. Lots of interesting stuff on the homepage. Not what we're here for today, but I feel like showing it off here. So things that DevCycle kind of does well, and sort of the fact that we're part of the OpenFeature ecosystem, like all these things, really awesome and super big reason why we exist and things that we love. So that's what DevCycle is. OpenFeature, like I was saying before, is a new sort of standard upon which feature flagging is kind of going to be based moving forward. And so I talk a lot about OpenFeature on these streams. It's a way to it's an open spec for feature flagging. There's lots of stuff. We're going to get a chance to actually explore this today live on stream, but it's nice because this is basically, I'll zoom in here. This is basically how it works. So you set a provider, and your provider is basically how you're controlling your targeting rules with your feature flag. You then sort of get your feature flags from the OpenFeature client, which comes from the provider, and then you're able to use those in your code. And so this is like an example of with cows and all the rest of that stuff. And you'll get to see again what this looks like in practice as we kind of build stuff out today. Now on today's stream, I have kind of a goal to build out an OpenFeature Eleventy plugin. And I'll talk a little bit about what Eleventy plugin is, but if you've been following along on some of the other stuff that I have been doing, you'll know I really like Eleventy. If you've never heard of Eleventy, it is Eleventy. It's a static site generator. End of the day, it's a fast static site generator. So if you're using Next.js or Astro or Gatsby, like they're all examples of kind of frameworks that you can use to build out these static sites. Eleventy is really fast. We're going to look at kind of spinning up a fresh Eleventy project as part of this. And then we're going to look at kind of building building an extension. And I will say, because I've done these streams before where I haven't done any work beforehand, and I feel like it doesn't always work out in my favor. So I decided to actually do a lot of this work a couple weeks ago, and then it kind of just sat there, and I was like, I'm going to do a stream about this on my next as a toggle, and then maybe we'll release it. Maybe it's just an exercise in futility. We'll find out together. But that's going to kind of be the focus today, is building an Eleventy plugin using OpenFeature and DevCycle. I mean, we're going to use DevCycle because it's a gateway to OpenFeature and vice versa. But that's going to kind of be our focus today. Also, I don't think I've ever noticed the little Eleventy mascot here, which is just absolutely the cutest thing in the world, and I kind of love it. Also, the number of places that are using Eleventy is pretty fantastic. So like I was saying before, if you are in chat, if you're watching the stream, hello, welcome. You've stumbled upon DevCycle's Does It Toggle stream. Welcome. I'm super excited to have you here. I am extra caffeinated today as well because I wanted to be prepared and have high energy for you on today's stream. And please throw who you are, where you're at in chat. I'd love to kind of just say hello to you and be able to have a conversation while I'm building. Otherwise, I'm just kind of talking into the void, which is a lot of fun. I'm happy to do it, but it's always great to chat with people as well while you're doing these streams. That's part of why live streaming is such an amazing thing to do. But yeah, I'm gonna build some stuff today, and I'm thinking I might use Zed today. Maybe I'll use Zed. I used Zed for a previous stream, and then I haven't touched it again. We're going to see. Maybe we won't use Zed. Maybe we'll stay in VS Code because I've already got everything set up there. But yeah, this is what Eleventy is. We're going to play around with this. We're going to create some new projects. We're going to play around with OpenFeature. We're going to play around with DevCycle. We're going to be doing all of these things. And we're going to be looking through some of the previous code that I've created, previous extension code that I've created, so we can kind of get an idea of where things are at. All right, let me pull up a couple of things. Firstly, I actually need to pull up VS Code. Let's get that up. Where's VS Code hiding? There it is. All right, this is a different project. We don't need this. Close all. We don't want my view project anymore. Let's open recent. Do we have it here? View project, my blog. Eleventy plugin DevCycle. Is it this one? Yeah, I didn't think that existed anymore, but I feel like this one does. Haha, success. And I'm actually going to pull this into its own separate project just because right now it's living inside, excuse me, it's living inside of another project. And that's not really what we want right now. So let me go and pull this out first. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to go and pull this out of where it's living right now, Eleventy template. I'll explain why I did all this, but I don't think y'all really care right now too much. Plugins, Eleventy plugin dev cycle. Okay, let's pull this over just onto its own because I don't need that. And then we're going to close this, or yeah, maybe we'll open folder. Not in there anymore. It's in here. Eleventy plugin dev cycle. All right, here we are. We've got it here. Let's move some things around. Let's pull this over into my main window because I was not looking at all of you. I want to also, I don't get to see my side. I guess I can't really see chat there as well. If my music is too loud too, let me know. It seems okay to me, but I've also only got it in one ear. And I do see that there's some folks that are here. So please say hello in chat. If you're watching this on X, then you can head over to YouTube or you can head over to Twitch and say hello. Or restart Visual Studio Code. All right, I will update it now. Why not do it live on stream? Vibe to some music while we're waiting. Wonderful. All right, we don't need to read these release notes. Voice dictation. I would hate to write code with my voice. It's a cool accessibility feature, but oof. All right, let's close that. Let's close that. Okay, so Eleventy. Let's go look at the docs because we need to know where to get started. So let's actually go to the get started, and we're going to create a new Eleventy project before we actually go in and I show you how the plugin is made, just because this will all make sense. So let's actually go here and we're going to make this Eleventy project. So let's open a terminal, new terminal. I think we're ls right now in here, cd ... All right, ls, where we go. Okay, there we go. So now I'm in my main folder. Let's do what it says, paste, make Eleventy sample. I don't think I have one of those. Oh, I do have an Eleventy sample. Let me delete that Eleventy sample so that I can start fresh. Move to trash. Move this one to trash too. I don't need this garbage. Goodbye, Eleventy template. You're not actually garbage. You're pretty fantastic, but I don't want you right now. All right, let's cd this again. Oh, I didn't want to cd that. Oh, whoops. Dev cycle, Andrew. Huzzah! All right, and let's go run that make dir command again. Ah, it disappeared. Save it. All right, let's make that directory. Follow step 1 of our instructions. Success. Let's cd into there. And let's head it back over to the docs and see what we got to do. Okay, we're going to cd into there, create a package.json file, the npm command for minutes will create one for you. Oh, look at that. npm initY. Now, where's the copy thing here? I don't like that. Let's create that file. Oh, we should actually open this too. We'll open it in a minute. Nice. Love that. Install Eleventy. All right, let's move over into this folder. Let's create a new window. Let's open. I actually really like this music. It is quite a vibe. All right, here we go. We're in this folder. So we can ignore this terminal for right now. We don't care about this. We're going to be focused here for the next couple of minutes. New terminal, new terminal. All right, wonderful. So let's follow our instructions here and let's go npm install. By the way, I will say this stream was kind of inspired by one that Jason Langsdorff did. So If you don't know about JSON, I will share that blog eventually, or the thing that you did eventually. Okay, here we go. So we've installed into our package. We've installed Eleventy. Amazing. And here's your command line might look like. All right. Run Eleventy. NPX command, Eleventy. We can use the NPX command. All right. And paste. Wrote 0 files. All right. Amazing. That's what it should be showing. Let's create some template files. All right. We're going to do exactly what it says here. We're going to be creating this index.html file. Goodness. She's running a little bit slow today. I don't know what's going on there. All right. So we are going to create that file there. And then we're going to also create this README file. Okay, you can use a text editor. Okay, now let's run it again. Okay, so we're following our process here because we always follow the docs here at DevCycle. Amazing, we wrote 2 files. Where did we write those files? Oh, look at that. Compiled those over in site. All right, amazing. Now we want to have a hot loading local web server. Boom, we got it. Let's go see what this looks like. Wow, open. Amazing, it says hi. Now, where is that reading from? Watching, oh, it's gonna open. Oh, I see, I can get both actually. So I can get that, or I can get README. Ooh, look at that, I like it. That's actually super smooth to get started, really. I mean, no, I don't want to put it online. I'm not there yet. Starter projects. Base blog. Build your own blog from scratch. These are all fantastic. Learn with JSON. See, that's one that I was talking about. You can actually find it right here. Build an Eleventy site in 11 minutes. Great. All right. So this is it. This is really at the end of the day, like that is your process of building this out. And so like, it's basically, if you're looking at the code, we've got our README index.html. It's converting all of it to HTML. And then we've got our index.html. And in here, we have our README file, which we just did in Markdown. And then we've got our index.html, which was obviously index.html. And then, yeah, it's basically putting it out to that site folder, or that underscore site folder, and we're kind of good to go. And I kind of love, this is one of the things that I really, really love about Eleventy is it's just so smooth. Also, I like having to say Eleventy all the time. Yeah. So this is sort of stage 1. We have built out a very simple Eleventy sample site. Amazing. But Andrew, why do I want to have this? And you may not, and that's okay. You may want to have something more. And so there's a cool thing that I really love, communities that are very extensibility focused. And so if you go into, where is it? Eleventy, I think it's called Plugity. Eleventy. Plugity, there we go. So this is actually a repository of a bunch of plugins for Eleventy, and we'll look at what plugins actually do. But a great way to show you this, I think, would be Ghost. We don't care about that. RSS feed, Helmet. What do we want to look at here? Inclusive language, kind of like that. Metagen, progressive web app. Reading time plugin. I actually remember looking at this one to get inspired. Is that dark mode? I don't love that. Holy moly. Let's go look at that repository because that dark mode is rough. All right, so here we go. So let's say we were doing this reading time plugin. So it's a non-dependency reading time plugin for the static site generator. Plugin provides a template tag. And so we'll talk about templating in just a minute. But this is basically how a plugin would work. So you're pulling in this reading time plugin from the folder there. You can now use reading time in your Nunjuck templates. We'll again look at Nunjuck templates in a minute. And then it's going to print out at build time. And so this is like, obviously this is a static It's a static site generator. And so a lot of this is sort of like you use this in your templates and then it'll roll it out in the final HTML. But yeah, you can kind of see how that works in here. You're basically declaring this in nunjucks. And so let's talk about nunjucks and templating as part of kind of the docs getting started stuff. I wonder if it's a little bit lower down. Continue learning, nunjucks liquid. Yeah. So here we go. Add more content, HTML markdown, but you can use JavaScript, WebC components. I have no idea what WebC is. But nunjucks and liquid are also very popular. So templating language. So we're going to go back to this in a second. Oh, I guess we're literally just selecting from here. That's kind of okay. Yeah, so this is liquid. Yeah, this is liquid. This is nunjucks. And I think both of these are read by default at the very beginning. And you can see here, like these filters are kind of like mini plugins that you can put in, but you can develop external plugins, which I think is really the cool piece here. And so yeah, short codes here. So like you can add a user short code that's going to output this kind of stuff, which is kind of cool. So basically, like, here's an example. I guess this is a really great example actually of how these plugins kind of work. So here would be adding a short code where basically you are setting it up. So you have like, you declare this user function and then you input the name and the Twitter username, and then it's going to output it in this HTML format. So I think it's like super smooth. I don't know. There's something that speaks to me about Eleventy, and I think that's why I like using it so much, and I like doing some things with it. But that's just kind of a basic understanding of kind of what building out a template looks like there. We can potentially build one out today, but we're going to be doing it through the kind of dev cycle OpenFeature stuff, so I don't think we necessarily need to do that. But what I'm interested in is WebC. What the heck is WebC? First class components. WebC. I've never heard of WebC before. Is HTML render template, custom template. Interesting. And then WebC, and then it also talked about Java. There's lots of templating languages in here. Markdown, HTML, JavaScript. Oh, just plain. Oh. Function. Well, that makes sense. Classes, data method, permalinks. Yeah, that makes sense. That's within Eleventy, just default. What else do we got? Liquid, nunjucks, handlebars. Handlebars. That's a lot of squiggly brackets. EJS pug. There's a lot of partners on here too. This is unrelated, but Pug. Don't actually know a lot about Pug. I've heard of Pug, but EJS mustache I've heard of for sure. Do you? Maybe we'll use mustache. That's not what I'm looking for. Templating. What's it available in? Ruby, JavaScript, Python. Ooh, PHP. Elixir. We played around with Elixir recently. Mustache.php. Interesting. Very cool. Well, this is all well and good, but basically what you need to know here is that we have templating languages, we've got plugins. I'm going to show you how to implement them. I'm going to show you actually how to build a plugin, and we're going to kind of look at what that looks like. But that's kind of the core piece here is basically you can use these templating so that you can write these blog posts and content really easily. There's lots of options in there. It's super extensible, lots of options. And then, of course, I think they have first-party plugins too. Plugin, templating language. Yeah, plugins. Yes, they have first-party ones as well. I've done a bunch of stuff with serverless in the past. You can actually, so I actually added serverless OAuth based on this guide from Eleventy. It was actually a lot of fun to do. But today I didn't want to get as deep into serverless because I think it's a lot. And also I've been playing around with the dev cycle client side SDK, JavaScript SDK recently, and I know OpenFeature's got their web SDK. And so I wanted to play around with that. I thought that was a great way to start. And so let's go back over. So we had our default, the example that I had here. I'm actually going to close down this server and then close this window because it's not really important for us anymore. And we're actually going to go look at the plugin here. And I'll run this too. I don't know, maybe I won't run it yet because let's actually go and look at what we have here. So, oh, did I already do this in OpenFeature? Let's go. Maybe I did it just in OpenFeature. Oh no, DevCycle Client SDK. Yes, build. Yeah. But I'm missing. Oh no, because that's my open. Oh, that's right. Oh, look at me. I actually already did a lot of the work here. So today may be just kind of cleaning it up a little bit. But let's kind of look at what I did to build this out. Because that's going to be important. So first things first. No, maybe I'll pull this over here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. We're going to build this from scratch, just so that you can kind of go through the process with me. So let's go over here and new window. Let's go and I think we're going to need to do Eleventy. Yeah, we're actually going to need to go through the same process that we just went through before to build a plugin. And you'll see kind of how the plugin setup actually works. Eleventy JS site 11. Yeah. Okay, this is good. So yeah, let's build this from scratch. You're kind of seeing work that I've already done, but I think walking through the process of doing this together is fantastic. So let's go terminal, new terminal. All right, and we're gonna call this one. What did we go through here? I think we did getting started. Yeah, we called like make dir OpenFeature Eleventy plugin. Amazing. And we're gonna cd into there. OpenFeature Eleventy plugin. Okay. Beautiful. And then we're actually going to do the same process as we did last time. We're going to go in here. We're going to actually, oh, not that. What are you doing? Andrew? Also, I hope y'all are enjoying the music that I got on here. Oh, you can't see this. It's a knit mat. Amazing. Let's install Eleventy on there. Let's get that installed. Awesome. All right. So, and then we're going to open up that folder. Great. Open, recent, open folder. Look at you. All right. So here we go. We've got the same kind of setup as we did before. So we have Eleventy kind of installed in here as a dev dependency. We've got our package lock. We've got our node modules in there. Amazing. That sounds absolutely fantastic. So, if we're going to start playing around, first thing we're going to need to do is to get a sample Eleventy project set up that we can kind of use to see how our plugin works. And so to do that, I'm going to actually create a new folder in here. I'm going to call it sample. And I'm going to kind of do the same process that I just did. Or am I? I'm not. What did I do over here? No, because I guess I'd already installed that. Yeah, so I don't want to do that. Sample, what did I do here? Eleventy Node.js build. Okay, yes, Eleventy, input sample. Aha. All right, so we're going to create a sample folder. And in this sample folder, okay, hold on. I should go back because one thing that we didn't do in this kind of setup, and I don't know why they actually don't talk about it in here, because it is really important, is actually using, is it the layout? No, not layout file. Command line options. I don't know why they don't talk about it in here, because you do actually, one of the first things you need to do, tutorials maybe? No, I don't want to watch a tutorial. Starter project is basically it's like setting up the Eleventy like file itself that tells Eleventy how to work. It's funny they don't show it in their documents. Okay, so like getting started, like fair enough. Like you don't actually need that to get started, but layout file, JavaScript web fonts, to your project, learn more about command, consume data, tutorials and starter projects, CSS in real life. No, where is the conversation around? Where's the conversation around the Eleventy.js file? Maybe you don't need it when you're deploying it. Oh, I guess you don't necessarily. If you're just deploying the static files, I guess you don't need it. But every single one of the Eleventy like projects I've ever seen are using this Eleventy.js file. Yeah, configuration. How deep is that buried? Goodness. Yeah, so it's looking for all of these files. First file found, others are ignored. Okay, amazing. So I'm going to create in my folder here this, just like this configuration file. It's going to be important when I start using my plugins. So I'll go in here, I'll create .eleventy.js. Amazing. I'm actually going to create the same file inside of sample, which is going to be kind of my sample project. And then I'm going to sample.emb. I guess that's just my example. Yeah, so I guess we don't actually use that in there. I'm like looking on multiple screens right now just because I'm looking at my own example that I created. So basically right now we've got Eleventy there and we've got Eleventy here. We've got our package.json. So this is like our base model here. So if you recall, when we had our other example, and let's just say we're kind of focusing in this sample folder of this being like a sample Eleventy project, that we would actually need something to compile in as like the sample site. So let's go in here and I'm going to use Nunjux just because it does provide me with a good starting point. And so I'm going to go in here and create a new file. I'm going to call this index.njk. Again, oh, where did I end up putting that? Did I create it in here? I hope I didn't. Maybe I never created it. Yeah, I want to put it in here. New file. We're going to call this index.njk. Awesome. And then let's build this out as like a basic, this is just going to kind of serve as our, having the template set up is going to allow for us to kind of input some things that we're going to need later on. So we're going to do doc type. What are you doing? What's going on? I want Copilot to be there. Why is it disabled? Public code references are enabled. Effects are using Helix. Okay, that should fix that problem for me. Okay, come on, what are you doing? Okay, Copilot's ready, good. Okay, why are you disabling Copilot? What's going on here? I want Copilot running because it's going to do a lot of this kind of like low-hanging work for me. And I want that. Copilot keeps disabling. So when I go there, what? NJK? Is it the NJK file? Can I get it in here? Interesting. Copilot doesn't like. Anybody know why Copilot doesn't like it? Copilot, NJK. That's so interesting. I have no clue why it's not working in here. It's like, I mean, I think it should be. I mean, like I can get there. Let's go. Give me a default page template. Like, I doubt that it's going to do it because it seems to be disabled in here. Okay. Accept. All right, let's see what we got here. We got our head. Meta, we got page title, awesome. We got that, awesome. That's all we need there. Body header, welcome to my page. I love that. Let's add a little bit of styling in here. So I'm gonna go in my head. Let's add some style. Let's add some pizzazz. And I really, really don't understand why you're not working, Copilot, in this file. I don't want chat. Why? Yeah, that's super, super, super strange. I'm unsure. I'm so unsure why Copilot is not working. Copilot not working in specific file VS Code. Content exclusion can be configured by a repository or an organization owner. Why is Copilot not working? Uninstall. Oh, maybe I'll just uninstall it and then reinstall it. Let's go into let's just uninstall and reinstall Copilot. Maybe that'll fix it. I don't know. Uninstall. Reload required. All right. Copilot. Install. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Did the job. Wow, that's wild. That's super strange to me. It's not that I need it, but it's really nice to have. Can I get it in here? Okay, it works in here. It must be some major setting thing. Open logs. What are you going to give me, Copilot? Edit settings. Oh, there we go. Add item, plain item, markdown, SCM input. Chat view. That's super interesting. What is it actually talking about in here? This is like a fun little thing that I haven't experienced before. What's SCM input? SCM input? SCM input. Source control input. Plain text. None. What if I want to add? Yeah, so it should be true for, is it maybe because NJK is seen as plain text? It might be. NJK and, oh, maybe that's what I need to do. I'll just like remove it. Edit item, maybe I'll just set this to true. I feel like that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it was. It just didn't sense that it was so weird. That's super weird. Okay, so we've got this in here. Let's get some HTML body stuff in our style. So let's go. Are you going to get this here? HTML. There we go. Great. Give me some options there. Let's go here. Let's grab that. And let's do our body. Let's get everything centered. Yes, there we go. And let's center that. Oh, I need that body. I need that body tag. All right. You know what I bet you also we need to do? I bet you there's a nunjucks. Maybe? Mm-hmm. Better nunjucks. 209,000, 29,000. We're going to go with this one. By the way, if you're watching stream, say hello. I'd love to say hello to you. Wonderful. There we go. Prettier. Can we run prettier? Command palette. Prettier. Weird. Fix this, generate docs. Ooh, I like that. I mean, this is fine. It doesn't really matter here. We don't actually care that much, but I'd love for this to be styled. Padding, font family, whatever. I'm able to style myself. I'm not that lazy. Okay, so here we go. We've got this in here. I do want it to update on every single time. Why, prettier? Why are you not working? Can I do prettier for Nunjux? Formatter for Nunjux template? Formatting. This is so weird. You'd think that one would include both. Whatever. This should fix it. Change all occurrences. I don't understand. I do not understand. This should just automatically update. Refactor, command palette, format. Format document. Install formatter. There we go. Oh, Nunjux prettier. There we go. Suppose I should have installed that one. Ugh. Uninstall. There. Configure. Nunjux prettier. Haha! Success. We got there. Okay, so here we go. So now we've got my page. We got the styling in here. We've got welcome to my page. That's all good. Amazing. So let's go in here and see what this actually produces for us. So we've got this index.js file. We've got 11t sample file. We don't even actually need this yet. And I think that what I can do in here, so I'm not going to change any of this yet, but I think what I can actually do is I can run npx 11t input, output, sample 11t, Node.js build. All right, so let's run. No, I don't need to run that. We're going to actually define the input of where we want to read from. So we're actually going to still read from out here because we've got all the node modules installed out here, but we're going to actually build from the sample and input into the sample. So let's actually do here. And I think what I want to do is I don't actually care about the output right now. And I don't care about the config stuff right now. I think what I want to do is go 11t -- serve. Okay, so that should, in this sample folder, have kind of built. So it's reading from in here, and then it's kind of outputting this Nunjux. So I should be able to go here now. Oof, that's rough. I mean, that's not that rough. I understand why it's doing that now, because technically, this original design didn't have all of my styling stuff in here. So if I just go here and remove my styling, great. Awesome. So there we go, like basic page there. But I like my styling. I also don't need a lot of this stuff. I don't need a nav. I don't actually need a header either. Maybe main. We'll just keep main for right now. And I'm probably just going to keep like one of these. Yeah, there we go. Don't need a footer. Like, we're just going super simple site. I like the style, like the syntax. Like, this is good. This is nice. But yeah, here we go. So this is a section of my page. Amazing. Here we go. So we've got a simple page here. It's running off of 11t. Spectacular. 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 All right. So now we're ready to kind of get building our plugin. Let's look at what the plugin is. So let's go over into plugins. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum. Yeah, so you would install the plugin, you would require, and then you'd add the plugin into the file, and then there's obviously plugin configuration options here. But we really haven't even done anything in our yeah, in our Eleventy.js files right now, they are literally blank in both of these. So because this is our sample project, this is where we're going to get and pull in our plugin. Our plugin is actually what's outside. The sample is just kind of there, and we're kind of relying on that, but we need to install our plugin in here. And so to do that, there's two things we need to do. The first thing is we need to declare the OpenFeature plugin. And then we're actually going to require, and we're just going to require like just back into the main section there. So we're going to be able to go back like a couple levels up. And then what we need to do here is, oh, look at that. Look at you, autocomplete. So this is exactly what we need here. So we basically are got module exports, Eleventy configs. We're basically defining that Eleventy config exists. And then in Eleventy config, we're going to, add OpenFeature plugin. Look at you. And I love things are fixing each other. This is super smooth. Okay. So like technically right now we have our OpenFeature plugin that is on the outside, installed in here. Now, our OpenFeature plugin, it can't be identified or anything else right now. But at the end of the day, like an OpenFeature plugin is literally just another an Eleventy plugin is just another Eleventy kind of project that doesn't necessarily have things like the templating and all that. It's just kind of exists to provide shortcodes and things like that into Eleventy. So amazing. So we've got this working. We've got that. We're going to eventually need an environment file in there, but not quite yet. And now let's go back into our main project here. So we're going to go and in our Eleventy, we're going to actually start to build out our plugin functionality. And so our plugin functionality that we're going to pull from is actually going to pull from dev cycle labs. We're going to pull from, not from this example PHP one, but we are going to pull from another one. Let me do this login process here. Vue 3 one I did, it could be fine, but we're actually just going to look at this sort of OpenFeature Web SDK one. This is kind of what we're basing a lot of what we're doing in our sample application on. I think I might have looked at this before, but kind of at the core level, when we go into our folder here, we've got a couple of things. Obviously some tests, but let's go to our public folder. And we've got our CSS, we've got our images, but then we've also just got like our index.html file where we have our toggle. So if you've seen the example apps, you'll know that there's basically a toggle bot that changes which toggle bot is appearing. And then it'll show you the toggle bot message and the toggle bot, and then it'll say like serving variation, and then it'll give some instructions. And all of these are controlled by, feature flags, which are kind of called in this script at the bottom of the page. It's good to know I should actually be calling that script at the bottom of the page when I'm in here, because I'm not doing that in my wasn't doing that in my current example. But anyways, so then inside of our source folder, this is where the magic is happening. So here, we are basically going in here. We are setting up our OpenFeature instance and client and doing it through dev cycle. And so like all of the code that exists over here in our example OpenFeature JavaScript file is basically what we're going to be replicating over in our Eleventy project. But the difference here is just the way that we are able to I guess the way that we're able to kind of go ahead and implement this. So let's look at what I mean there, because it is very unique in that whenever you're dealing with client-side stuff, sorry, I just got a phone call that came through. We're not worried about that right now. Forget my phone. So we have to webpack this, right? So we've got this is obviously client side. And so we actually have to do like a webpack. So we got to package it all up together so that it can read stuff from dev cycle. And so that's why we've got in our devcycle.js, we've got all these import statements, which just don't work client side. So we got to kind of package it all up so it's able to be read. I could have used Webpack. Webpack's got a lot of extra things that I didn't want to use. And we're not quite there yet anyways. But what we do need to do is actually start our process of creating a plugin that is going to kind of do all of this work, that is going to initialize DevCycle, initialize OpenFeature, all the rest of that hard work we need to go in and do. So let's see what that looks like. First things first, we actually need to install the DevCycle OpenFeature web provider, which we're going to do now. And which folder I'm in? Let's go here. All right, and let's go. And I think I just need npm install, but let's go look at the docs. DevCycle web provider OpenFeature. Bum 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 dum 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 bum 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 bum. All right, npm install, save DevCycle. All right, let's grab this. Great. So we got our OpenFeature web provider that is set up in there. Amazing. So now we're able to use that. And now we're actually going to go and we're going to create a file in our source. So similar to what we'd done before. So we're going to go new file here. We're going to create, let's call it devcycle.js. Okay, and let's create a folder then and call this src. And let's drag our devcycle.js in there. All right, and then we're going to start to do some of the work that we did before in our other code examples. So first thing we're going to do, and not all of it, because we're not going to focus on some of the things we were doing here and like updating UI. Like this, we could technically do this, but I think like to get from 0 to where this plugin actually works, we don't need to. We don't need multiple types of users. So again, I think we can talk about that later, but I think like just to kind of show the demo of how this works, the first thing we need to do here is import DevCycle provider. Amazing. So we've got our DevCycle provider now. And we also need to import, Okay. And we also need to import OpenFeature from the DevCycle from the OpenFeature SDK. So we actually want to grab from the OpenFeature, and this is what's interesting here is this is actually included. Web SDK. This is included when you install the OpenFeature web provider. So some of the companies and providers, you kind of have to install both of them, but here we just have one. Okay, so now we're actually going to go in here and we're going to do an export const devcycle, new devcycle provider. Nope, we're not going to follow you for right now. We're going to set up OpenFeature and we're going to have this as async. Look at you. All right, are you setting this up right? All right, let's see what this returns and see if it's right. So actually, the first thing that we're going to need to pull in is we're going to need an SDK key, which we will actually install just in here. We'll use like a default one for right now. We're just going to call this DevCycle. Actually, let's just call this SDK key because we don't want this to be specific to DevCycle, even though it will be for now. So just call this SDK key equals your SDK key. All right. Oh, your key. Perfect. All right. And now we're going to set a user context, and user context is just like we'll just call it context. And we're going to set this up as just like the basics that you need for DevCycle, which is user ID. And so basically the context, if you haven't followed OpenFeature, is just like what you need. Yeah, there we go. Your user, amazing. So your context is basically what you use to define your target, or to I guess use for your targeting rules. So we're using user ID for this. And that's just one way to do it. All right. And okay, awesome. So we got our SDK key. We've got our context in there. Now we actually need to set up our DevCycle provider. And so it kind of did some of the work here. And we're just going to call this new provider. I don't want to be so specific to DevCycle because I want to be able to plug and play from here. But we are actually going to call it new DevCycle provider, but we're actually going to put the SDK key in here. Amazing. Awesome. So basically with this, we've got our provider set up. And then no, we're not going to do this, and we're not going to do this yet. So now we're going to do an await statement. We're going to await OpenFeature, and then we're going to set the context to the context that we defined. So our user context that we had there. We're then going to set our provider exactly. So this is kind of the base process here. So basically we set our SDK key, we set our context, we set our provider. We then set that. I mean, I guess I can put this in the same order. No, this makes sense to do all of this stuff that's dev cycle specific and then set it in OpenFeature. And then we're going to, so if we were setting up OpenFeature, then we would want to return, we'd want to return OpenFeature when we called this. Now, for our example, it's a little bit different because we actually want to be able to use that open feature on the front end. And so if you look here, so in our example here for like updating the UI, so basically we did the same process that we're seeing here, also setting options, but we don't care about options for right now. We're kind of grabbing the client and all the rest of this stuff. And then we were feeding this stuff through to this update UI method /file. Hold on, and let's go look at the update UI so you can kind of see what's happening there. Update UI. Yeah, so in here, we're basically pulling this in and doing all of the real logic back here in the update UI. Now, while I realize that would be a way to do it, it's not the way that we are going to do it. For our example, I actually want to be able to use the OpenFeature client on in the regular browsers, just because of the way that I want to implement this plugin, or the way that I guess I did implement this plugin. And so we're not actually going to return anything. We are actually going to set window.openFeature client, OpenFeature, and then we're going to do OpenFeature get client. And so basically here with this, with this dev cycle, like this function, this setup OpenFeature, we are going to be able to do all of that background work to get this set up. And then what I'm going to do here is that immediately after I have my, immediately after I have that all working, I'm going to run that setup OpenFeature. I'm going to run that setup OpenFeature process. But I do need my SDK key in there, and I do have an SDK key set up, but I'm going to go set up a new project, I think, over on dev cycle. Haven't logged in a bit. All right. New project, test project. Great. Is this in my org? It is. What are my features I have set up? Okay, so this is actually set up to what I want it to be. So let's go grab my key. We'll grab my development client side key. I'm going to put that into here. Amazing. So we got all this stuff. We got our user. Let's just set this to Andrew, my user ID. Awesome. So we've got all that stuff working. We're going to run that on setup. So in our Eleventy package here now, okay, so basically here we have our logic to set up, not to actually have feature flags working, but basically to set up OpenFeature. So in the plugin, the logic that we're actually kind of setting up is to create a shortcode that initializes this on the front end. So whereas in the previous example over here, we sort of defined, where am I talking about? Over here. We were kind of defining all of that logic, like this logic here in this this main.js, and then a lot of the work was happening there. We're going to do this main.js, which we were then calling from the template. We're going to do this in a shortcode. And so I'll show you what that looks like within the plugin, because that's going to be one of the two things that the plugin does. So let's go in here. And again, like I said, a plugin is just an Eleventy, project. So we've got Eleventy.js. This is right. Okay, source. We're going to close that down. Okay, we're going to go module exports. We're going to go equals function. Amazing. All right, perfect. So that's good. And let's do that. Awesome. Okay, so we got our basic Eleventy project in here. And then we're going to do Eleventy config. And we're not going to do add plugin because we don't necessarily want to add a plugin to Eleventy config. Instead of add plugin, which we did before, we're going to use their add shortcode. See if it gets it. OpenFeature. All right. And let's see what that returns. OpenFeature. No, we don't want that quite yet. And actually, we don't need anything inside this function. We actually don't need any of this return stuff right here. So we're going to close that off. But this is basically right now, we have created an OpenFeature shortcode that is, Eleventy OpenFeature shortcode. Return, yes. Okay, let's go hello world. Amazing. And we need to now do this, and then I think do one more. Yes. Okay, so here we go. We've got a shortcode. Our OpenFeature shortcode returns hello that we're defining in here. So we're pulling that into this OpenFeature plugin. This is defined through our require statement. From in here, and then we're going to now use nunjucks, and we're going to change this about to actually use nunjucks, which I think for variables is this plus that. I want to say it's that. I want to say, but I may be wrong. Nunjucks. No, that was right. Okay, amazing. And let's actually go in there, and we're going to return it's that, and then we're going to return OpenFeature. Okay, so now this should have refreshed. Wrote 0 files. Let's go back over to our example that we had here. Not this one. We can close this. 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 Let's go. Do we have an error? Eleventy problem writing. Yes. Maybe I spelled OpenFeature wrong. Did I? Require Eleventy OpenFeature. That's the shortcode. So that's awesome. So that should be good there. All right, let's go. Awesome. I'm gonna cancel this for just a second, and we're gonna run that again. Okay, let's see. Now this should now return hello world in that spot. Amazing. Yeah. So basically, you can see here that we have in devcycle.js, we're not actually doing anything with devcycle.js right now, but basically what we've done now is we have added a shortcode that will return whatever we want in there. So anytime we entered OpenFeature, it would return that into our file. But what we want to do is kind of the same thing that we did with this main.js, where we're just going to run this kind of setup OpenFeature thing. But technically, we did this going around all over the place. Technically, we did this within our devcycle.js file down here. So basically, anytime we call devcycle.js, it's going to actually just like immediately call that setup OpenFeature whenever it runs that. So let's go in and see if we can do this. So we got our SDK key. All of this should be working. Now, the downside here is that we are not quite ready to go because amazing. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Yes. Okay, yes, amazing. So here's the thing. Set up OpenFeature from devcycle.js. Import all this stuff. What we're forgetting about in here is that we used Webpack in this setup. So if we go back to our basic example, I was in Webpack. Yeah, so you can see here, and we're using .m files because we're using .m, so it's going to pull in the entry point main.js, and so it's going to kind of go through there, and then it's going to output that into the dist folder, and so like all of this work is actually happening to do a build process to be able to use these OpenFeature and devcycle stuff without needing to use a CDN or something like that. And now if there was a CDN, that'd be amazing. We don't have a CDN here, so we're going to do a build process. But I didn't want to use Webpack. I decided actually that I was going to use ES build. That's what I was going to build. But I used a more complex ES build in this example because first things first, that's why, because I was using the .m file. We're not going to do that for right now. What we are going to do is we're actually going to install ESBuild. ESBuild. Bundling, that's the term that I was looking for, bundling. Get installed. Install ESBuild. npm install. Save dev. All right. Let's get it set up in here. Oh, that's the wrong place that I want to install it. I want to install it over here. Let's install this. And so the reason we need to do this, and we also need to like send it to a very specific place, because we're going to be using the anyways, this will all make sense a little bit later, more why and how we're building it. Just because we're using a plugin. If we were doing this just within the sort of other application, the kind of primary application, the parent application, it'd be a little bit simpler. But because we're doing this as a plugin that is going to be used across the board, we kind of need to set up our ESBuild slightly differently. But anyways, we've got our ESBuild installed now, and npm install bundle. No models. Okay, finally it's built to bundle the file, bundle out file, out.js. Okay, amazing. So here we are going to, because we're going to run this on our demo, node build.js. Yes. Okay, so let's figure out how we do this, because I've got a more complicated example that I built previously. So we just need an ESBuild command within here. So I think I'm actually just looking for ESBuild app.jsx bundle. Okay. Where we are, back in here. So we actually just want to bundle this maybe into dist. Let's just run ls. Okay, so we want to run build.js in our plugin. So we're going to build into our dist folder. All right, so we're going to run ESBuild/v. Let's see if that's in there. No ESBuild. ESBuild. Okay, so that's from within script. Yeah, let's ESBuild. How can I run? Yeah, how do I run? Oh, I guess if I'm running it from Windows, Unix, node modules bin app ESX. Okay, let's just try this command, but with what we're actually trying to build. Okay, so let's go run this. Don't run it, but then we'll call it out.js bundle. We're actually going to bundle in the source/devcycle.js bundle. I think this will work. Not resolve/source. All right, let's go ./source. ./source. Okay, great. So we've got our out file here, and this is bundling all the stuff from devcycle. So amazing. Let's put this in the dist file for right now. So let's actually have this output to dist and then delete. Okay, move trash. We don't have to need that right now. So let's set this to go ESBuild to go as an out file, and we'll call this OpenFeature. And we're going to put this in a dist folder /. Okay, so now let's see what this does when we run it. Dist OpenFeature source devcycle. Oh, dist. All right, dist, one error. Failed to create output directory, make directory, read only file system. Okay, so let's create a folder. Oh, maybe because I think I previously had it set up in as a command. So it was actually in What did they have in here? Build scripts. Yeah, let's do this build script in here. Actually put this in our package.json, and let's put this in scripts test. Let's go build, comma, yes build, and we're going to build /source/devcycle.js, and we're going to output to /dist/openfeature.js. Okay, let's see if this works. npm run build. Oh no. So it's not able to create that. Oh, maybe because, it's because it's trying to go as high as it can. Maybe I'll try this. Okay, sick. Okay, that's good. But either way, I've got it in there. OpenFeature.js, we've got that build there. Okay, so now we actually want to say in our plugin, we actually want to say within our plugin that our shortcode, not that one. Yeah, our OpenFeature shortcode is going to basically just be like a script that allows for us to add it to the bottom. So let's go add this in here. And then I'm going to run this. So here we go. So we've got this script. And so devcycle.bundle, we're going to rename this to, yeah, this just names it to OpenFeature. So let's just call this OpenFeature. And yeah, again, we're kind of running it here. I think this is actually going to throw an error because the fact that it's trying to read from the mothership, but let's see what happens. Technically, we'll see if there's an error that shows up. When we put that OpenFeature, OpenFeature.js. Okay, let's go back over here. Amazing. Okay, OpenFeature. Let's move this and call this Hello World again. All right, let's move this down to the bottom. OpenFeature. All right, let's go look at our page again. Oh, why do I have Hello World there? Why do I have Hello World twice, people? Oh, duh, because I didn't rebuild. I didn't actually rebuild my my sample project. So I actually need to stop this and then run this again. So that should do it. Yeah, here we go. So let's go look in our inspect and see if we've got any errors in here. And we do, we've got an error. So 404, not found with status openfeature.js. And that is because, again, we had sort of our plugin, we had done that build statement and put it into this sort of like overarching, but really the work that's happening here is happening in the site.dist. So we have this dist that we're building of the open feature, but then we actually want to pass it over into, we want to pass it through to the site. So what I'm going to do here is let's go back into our plugin here. And we're going to do this add pass-through copy. And basically what we're doing is we're saying whenever we run this plugin, add a pass-through copy to wherever we're wanting this to run. And we're wanting this to run, yeah, Node.js build, Eleventy, sample, Eleventy. Okay, so we're going to do, oh no, the command that we're going to run now is, let's go this, copy this over. Okay, amazing. Let's cancel that. Let's delete our site because we actually don't care about that right now. Although it did actually update the dist. Oh, so technically that should be working now. Shouldn't get that error anymore. It did update in real time. Console, failed to connect. Okay, so like it is connected. This reload client. No, that should be the wrong thing. We're gonna like stop it and start it again. Oh, I guess I stopped it. Okay, and then I'm gonna run. All right. So here you go. You can see what we're basically running here is this script to basically say to do everything in the sample folder because we don't actually want to do this. Let's delete that site folder because I don't want to be running it for Eleventy because it will try and do that. I actually want to run it in this sample folder. So let's go. This should do everything in the sample folder. cannot find module. Please verify package has a valid mean entry. Okay, why are we getting that? It's probably because the example that I'm calling is okay, npx 11t sample output sample underscore site config sample 11t cannot find index.js main CLI error. Okay, let's figure out what this error is. Sample. Okay, config sample is coming from here. Yes. Index.js. Yes. That should all be good. Has a valid main entry. Eleventy index.js. Why is it looking for index.js? Please verify the package has an invalid mean entry. Okay, so this is good. This is what we want to be here for our plugin. That's all good. We've got this here. So I think this plugin is by Eleventy. This is just a plugin with the way that I'm implementing it here, which is a little bit different than how I implemented it before. So I've already built here. Node modules we've got. So this node module sample 11t. All right, what did we run before that worked fine though? Output sample site config. What if I do just serve input sample site? No, so it still cannot find module. Cannot find module. Why? What about when I ran this? So that works. Why didn't this? Index.njk, that's fine. Sample 11t build. Okay, we don't need any of that stuff. Okay, I don't want that anymore. Don't want that. Delete. Okay, we have this. We have our import stuff. This is all well and good. This is what we want. This is all well and good. This is what we want. We want to add that pass-through copy, which works fine until we try and run source dev cycle. Okay, that build in here. Okay, that's fine. What did I do over here that this would run fine? Node production, 11t node build. Okay, demo. Okay. Okay. Node build.js. Output sample site. Okay. This is good. Input sample npx. This should all work. I'm unsure. I'll zoom out there for a second. I know this has gotten really small. I'm unsure why this is working. Yeah, why? What's our issue here? Error cannot find module index.js. Ensure that package.json has a valid main entry. Oh God, is that what it is? Is that really what it is? Eleventy.js. Yeah, that's what it is. Goodness gracious. All right. So that's the thing that I need to do with this plugin. I totally spaced. So it's not index.js. We're actually feeding through from 11.11t.js. Brilliant. Okay. So that did the thing that we wanted it to do, but we don't actually want to serve. Yeah. So now if we look in here, we should have this site and a dist folder, and then we have this HTML. We actually want to serve this. So I'm going to delete this. Not that I need to, but I'm going to. Yeah. And then we're going to run this command. Serve input sample site config sample. Okay. Great. Okay, so this now should run without errors. So we should actually be seeing no console errors in there. This reload client, this is all related to Eleventy, so that's not a big sign that that's working there. So what I'm gonna do over in my, so initially, I don't have any logging or anything in my devcycle.js to say that anything started. So let's actually in here, just do like a console log open features ready. I love that. That's awesome. Okay, so now we've got to rebuild that. So let's cancel this. And then we're going to do a rebuild of that. So we're going to go through here. Oh, really? ES build /src/ open feature. What did I call it? Oh yeah, I want to rename this open feature. Open feature JS. Okay. Source, and then what was our output? Bundle. Just copy this. Oh, why do I need to copy that? -- bundle. -- out file. Equals. /disp/ open feature.js. Do I need to define .js? Yeah, I do. Maybe we'll call it bundle.js. I feel like that's a good idea. Bundle.js. Okay, so we're going to save that. And then the only other thing that I need to do is now in my plugin, update this to bundle.js. Okay, so let's run that. ES build. Oh, it's because I need to do. Oh, that's right. Because I actually defined this in my package. So we're going to call this -open feature because I changed the name there. And then we're going to call this dist open feature.bundle.js. Amazing. And then we're just going to run, instead of this, we're going to run npm run build. Perfect. So now in this dist, we should have open feature and open feature bundle. We can delete this. Move to trash. All right, so now, and you know what? I should actually just be running all of this as an npm command as well. So let's call this demo, maybe? Great. Let's put a comma in there. Okay, and let's just run npm run demo. Beautiful. All right, so this should now be running here. And I should, if I look at my console, feature's ready. Amazing. So our open feature bundle is working. So we now actually have open feature that is being used here in the, that's being used in here. Now, let's go look back at our exemplar that we're using here. So here, we did all of our Webpack stuff, and then we kind of called main.js. And if we go over here and look in source, we called main.js, and main.js imported setup open feature from the devcycle.js. So it imported all of this stuff. So it basically set up open feature. Oh, goodness, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Okay, so we basically are setting up open feature, all this stuff, and then we're updating the UI. And then anytime that there's a change, we're basically updating the UI by pulling in the client and then setting the dev cycle provider. So it's basically just like this constant cycle that's running through in here, which totally makes sense, but that's not what we're going to do. We're going to do this slightly differently. Oh, and my laptop has been unplugged the entire time that I've been on stream. So here we go. All right, so let's kind of look at a different implementation here that uses short codes, because I think that's kind of a nice way to do this. Because right now it's working, but we can't actually do anything with our code. So let's go back over to open feature, handle feature flag. Do we really even need that anymore? Yeah, so what was I doing there? Oh, I see. All right. Okay. All right. So now let's go and so we've got our scripts in there. Oh, and I should also say, because of the way that we define, I'm pretty sure we defined this as a window variable. If you go back to OpenFeature, yes, this is actually something we can call in the window. So I can actually go into over here, close this, and let's just open up our console. And let's just do OpenFeature. Right? So like my OpenFeature client is now accessible in my window, which is pretty fantastic. And that's great, but like it's only open in my window. I wonder. Let's see how we can use this. How can we use this? So now we've got our OpenFeature set up in there. That's amazing. I love that. But how are we going to use that because of the way that we do templating in here? What did I do before? What did I do in my other example? Okay, so I set up all that stuff. OpenFeature client. Okay, so there I'm pulling in the dev cycle bundle so that I can use all of that stuff. Dev cycle bundle. Okay. That's basically making the OpenFeature stuff available. Okay. So now let's see what else I might want to do. So let's go back into my devcycle.js. So what did I have set up over here? Actually, what are things that we didn't borrow from that other example? We didn't borrow that add handler. Actually even use handle feature flag? I don't even know if we actually need that OpenFeature client window variable. Yeah, I don't think we do. I think we can do similar to what we did here. I don't actually need that in my window. Okay, OpenFeature is ready. Amazing. Okay. So now let's do, what might we want to do in here? What if I want to do that provider configuration changed thing that we did in there? So let's go. It's good. I'm glad that I'm revisiting this. Yeah, so let's get rid of that. OpenFeature client, event, feature flag update. Yeah, I don't know what we did over in the other example here. Yeah, we're not going to worry about that. Feature flag update, we're going to keep that there. Document, dispatch event. We're going to just do a console log for right now. Feature flag update received. Let's cancel this out. Okay, beautiful. Set up OpenFeature. Okay, this should work to what I want to. So now, if I rebuild this, so let's cancel. Actually, and let's actually run these two commands together at the same time when I run the demo. So let's go into our package.json. So when I run the demo, I actually also want to run and node build, no. Can I just run and npm run build? I wonder if that'll work. Or npm run build and. No, I don't want and anymore. Okay, yes, that worked. Amazing, just checking my messages because I got a meeting at, what time do I have my meeting at? 4:20, so I got about 20 minutes left to get through, but I think we're actually on track. Okay, so we've got this, so this should do that. Okay, awesome, so let's go in here. And shouldn't be any errors here. I might get the console log. Open features not defined. Oh, maybe I need to do, maybe I just do, is it const again? Oh, open feature client. Let's try and rebuild this again. Cancel this. Open feature client is not defined at setup open feature. Do I need to const this again? I don't know why I could do it over here. Maybe it's because I'm using it just inside of here. It's so weird. Why could I do it in here? Set up open feature. Maybe it's just the way that I'm using it. Open feature client, open feature get client. Okay, that's fine. Update UI, open feature add handler. Why? Open feature. Do I need to add? I mean, let's try this, see if it makes a difference. I need to put this back in. Okay, no console error this time. Okay, good. Open feature's ready. I don't know why that didn't work that time, but okay. And so technically, I should be able to go into app.devcycle.com and go into my features. And if I update this, my targeting rules, no matter what I'm doing, and I think I had like 2 messages like hello and world. Yeah, hello world. It's fine. Basically, if I change this to anything, I should get a notification over here. Yeah, okay, great. So now we're getting the notification. Basically, the communication is open and we're talking to our application. Lovely, 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 lovely. Okay, so now let's go in here and we're getting the updates on when things are changed. Spectacular. So I actually don't need to, I do need to include that if I want to use it on there. Okay. DevCycle.js. Okay, so now handle feature flag. You can create the handle feature flag, and then how did I actually use that previously? Update feature flags. Function add event listener open feature ready async update feature flags. Oh, that's right. Okay, so yeah, this was a cool thing. So basically, what I did previously was I then created a maybe I'll do a different shortcode. It's not necessary to do a different shortcode, but I feel like it's useful for us here as an exercise. So I'm literally just going to copy this again. So basically there we're initializing things, and here is where we're going to define our update feature flags functionality. And so here we got this shortcode, but instead of it being this kind of script setup here, we're actually going to do it slightly differently. So we've already, basically we're calling our open feature stuff in there. And then let's create a function that is going to be my update feature flags function. Amazing. Let's see if you can pull anything out there. Okay, console open feature client, open feature client, get feature flags, console feature flags. No, that's not what we want to do. All right, what we want to do here is I'm actually going to do a query in my document. So document dot query selector all, and we're going to call this data feature key. And that's what we're going to use to define our feature key. And then we're going to do for each, and we're going to do async. And we're going to do EL, wonderful. And then we're going to close that off. Awesome. All right, and now let's see if we can get this here. All right, get attribute data feature key, open feature client, open feature client. No, we don't want to get our open feature client yet. All right. Okay, and we're going to get our key, and then we're going to get our default value. All right, and we're going to get that from, and maybe I'll just define it this way because this is a little bit easier, a little bit more straightforward. Element data set, EL, I guess, data set. So we'll just go EL data set. Okay, and now we're going to go key default value because this is a big thing with dev cycle, and we're going to grab this one feature key. We're going to call this one default value, very creative. We're going to call the next one feature type. So let's go const type equals EL dataset type. I guess we should call it feature type just to feature type. All right. And then we're going to do const flag value equals await window handle. Oh, that's true. Do I need flag value? Update feature flags, a boolean of type string. Yeah, so that's what I did there. OpenFeature. Yeah, and we're actually not going to do this. What I'm actually changing the way that I implemented this from what I did before, because I'm like looking at this and it just seems silly to have done it the way that I did it before. So let's go back into our devcycle.js. And so before I'd done handle feature flags, default value true. Okay, window handle feature flag, type key value. Okay. So I did handle feature flag in there. I don't actually need to do window handle feature flag. I don't think anymore. Although, no, I do need to do window handle feature flag, but technically, devcycle.js. Okay, so technically I've got my open feature. I can't call it because I'm not doing it that way anymore. And again, so this was why I did this. Okay, so this is the interesting thing here, right? Because I want to be able to do this on the client side and have it update every single time. But I can do that. Yeah, I need to run the update feature flags here, which is why I needed to do the window handle feature flag type. Okay, handle feature flag, default value. Okay. So yeah, I don't actually need the open feature stuff over there. So that's good. So I actually didn't need a window value for that. Let's go back over here. And actually, we're going to go back into our open feature JS. Awesome. So we've got all this stuff. This is good. I don't need, that's fine. I'll leave that for now. Feature flag updated. We do want to keep that. And we do want to dispatch the event to our document. So that's all good. Perfect. Now, let's also define a new variable. Okay, good. Handle feature flag. I guess I did. Is this all here? Yes, window open feature client. Okay, set up open feature. Good. Okay. Open feature async. Awesome. Okay, so now we've got that set up and that's changing. Now we're going to set up a window handle feature flag function equals, and we're going to set this to, let's actually set it to type key default value. Thank you. All right. And then if this gets it, type Boolean. And we're just going to set this up for 2 types. Type string, awesome. But we are actually going to return. So default value equals, there we go. So we're actually going to pull that default value variable from in there. And then we're actually going to return this. This may actually be why I had to, I thought I had to do the window value before. Okay. Return Boolean, yes. Okay, that's awesome. And then here, we're going to do the same thing. Return gets string values. This is the difference here, is just the way that OpenFeature uses this. Okay, handle feature flag. Awesome. Open feature flag ready. Okay. Oh, that's right. And then we were going to do this. Dispatch event. Okay, awesome. All right, here we go. So then we're going to call this right before, so we know that it's run. Okay, perfect. So const event, new event, document dispatch event, const event, new event, open feature ready. Is that what we're doing up here too? I don't need to run that anymore. Where did we run the event for? Oh, I guess we can do the same thing here. New event. Oh, that is exactly. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I feel like I mixed something up here. Whoops. Redo. Okay, what's going on here? I feel like I've done something I should not have. Okay, OpenFeature. Okay, that's all related to that. That's good. Don't need that Y anymore. Okay, OpenFeature client, get client. Okay, good. OpenFeature client, that's good. Window handle feature flag, that's fine. I guess I just missed another one after this. Yeah, I guess that's it. Okay, let's do our command again. Great. Awesome. What's happening here? Console. Okay, it's not going to do any console stuff, but it is going to do an event. And then back over in my Eleventy, I'm going to add an event listener, and I'm just going to run a command to show this. So hold on. OpenFeature Eleventy. Here we go. Okay, update feature flags isn't technically done yet, but that's fine. I just want to add an event thing handler here, and I just want to run a console log here. Console OpenFeature event received. Awesome. And then we actually need to add this to our nunchucks. So we're going to run this, add this here as well. No, not open, not close feature. Let's go here, update feature flags. Okay, let's see what happens over in our application. Connected, HTML delta apply, connected. Oh, so we're getting that function there. That's not good. Oh, I guess we did need to have script in there. Whoopsie daisy. Forgot that I did need to say script in there. Close script. Awesome. Unexpected token default. Oh, whoops. No. Format document. Oh, maybe it's not going to find it. Default value, default, constant default value, await, key default type. Why are you not finding that? Unexpected token default. Default value, const default. I don't know. I think that's an error. I'm just going to update and see what happens. We'll figure that out after. Update this and see if we get a notification. We should. No. We're not getting a notification, which we should be seeing. Because I don't need this for right now. Let's just get rid of that for a second. And we should now. Oh, maybe it's because this is OpenFeature ready. Could be just be because this doesn't need to be. Maybe just because this doesn't need to be async. Could be it too. Let's see if that updates. Whoa. Don't have Slack up there. Yeah, I mean, what are we? We're almost 2 hours in now. So we might break for today. I mean, the answer here, the question is, it actually does toggle fairly well. I think really the big thing that I've been able to accomplish here is we have OpenFeature working, and now the question is just like, how can we actually implement it into the code? I might continue this stream for my next does it toggle. I might actually do like a bonus does it toggle next week, maybe. Yeah, maybe next week, just so that I can finish this one off, because I do think that there's something very interesting here. Yeah, so because I think this is a logical place to stop. So basically, we have OpenFeature working in here, and now it's just getting it, and it's bundled, and it's technically doing the plugin job. And now we just actually need to update things on the page. Now, I'll show you a very fast example of what that looks like, just in another example app that I have set up. So let me pull this one over here, and I'm actually going to run ls cd ls cd. Okay, I just want to run this exact one, cd Eleventy plugin dev cycle, and then we're actually going to run the npm run demo, and you'll be able to see here how this works in practice. Amazing. So, but I guess I didn't do serve. So we're actually going to change in here, just change this to npx 11t -- serve. Okay, because I want to be able to show you. Awesome. So you can see here, we're getting this like browser sync set up here as well. So let's go in here and look at this. Open. Amazing. So now we've got hello. And if I change this to message 2, you're going to see that it updates to world. Ooh, to OpenFeature. Oh, I forgot that it is in OpenFeature. So like this is kind of the next logical step to this process. So I actually want to continue this in the next does it toggle. I want to continue this journey with Eleventy, because I do actually want to get this plugin working, and I think the implementation, and with the new implementation, because I think that I, in this example, added a bunch of things that I didn't need to. So like I'm pulling in from an M file, which is really valuable, but I actually declared this window variable like multiple times, and I don't think I needed to do that. I don't think I actually need to run this handle feature flag. Maybe I do in the browser. I need to figure this out. But like this is kind of the ultimate implementation of how it works. So with that said, let's take a break for today, because I think that we've gone through a lot of stuff. We've got something working. The initial stages are there. So let's put a pin in this. And if I don't bring this back in another blog, then I will bring it, or sorry, if I don't bring it back in another stream, I will finish this off, flesh this out, and then kind of share this journey below. But I do think that I want to return to this in my next stream, just because we are actually building out a plugin. So let's try and come back to this. And yeah, if you're interested, I'll be sharing the code afterwards as well. So here's where we are now. Here's where we want to get to. And I think we'll be able to do that in kind of one more stream together. So I think we're going to leave it there for now. Again, today we were exploring Eleventy. Oh, not that Eleventy. It's Eleventy. We were exploring Eleventy. We were exploring OpenFeature. We got sort of our initial client structure working up in the plugin. It is a functional plugin, but now it's actually getting those changes on the client side, which we're almost there, but not quite. And I've got to call it for today for another meeting that I got to get off to. So thank you all so much for tuning in to today's stream. I've been Andrew. You've been watching Does It Toggle? If you're interested in learning more about DevCycle or reading more about our work with OpenFeature, head over to blog.devcycle.com. We've got an OpenFeature page there. You can actually read my most recent OpenFeature blog post, which is on sort of doing this whole process in Vue.js and actually switching between providers. Definitely worth a read, but we're going to leave that for now. And I will say farewell to everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's stream. Be sure to drop by our Discord by visiting the link that's at the bottom of the screen. And looking forward to seeing you back here next time. You can check out our community calendar by heading over to docs.devcycle.com. Community calendar. You can see when our next streams are going to be. We've got a Dev Tools and Dev Cools. We've got a DevRel collaboration next week. Does a toggle in 2 weeks where I'm going to be back visiting this. Actually, yeah, that one's going to change because I'm going to be in Paris for that. So stay tuned. Lots of stuff to come. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you around the Dev Cycle community. Farewell, everybody. See you next time.